Welcome to Wealth, Health, and Wisdom Mastery, a channel where we learn tips on how to become more wealthy, more healthy, and have the wisdom for living and winning in life. We are doing a series now on a wisdom series on how to we're doing a wisdom series on how to prepare better yourself and your family for emergencies and disasters. In a previous episode, we focused on developing a family emergency or a disaster plan. We talked about three things: developing a plan, building an emergency kit, and staying informed. In this episode, we'll be focusing on two things. Really talking about the contents, possible contents of that emergency kit that you need to have, and also some things that you need to keep in store in your home for future emergencies, in case there's a lockdown and you are not able to leave the house or there's a curfew. So for an emergency kit, every member of your household should have their own emergency kit. What is an emergency kit? It's a bag that contains certain things, that contains a list of items that is useful for that individual. So it should contain things like your information, your personal details and information, all written down in a piece, in a sheet of paper that you will include in your bag. That information should also contain details of your doctor, your clinician, dentist, and all that. And sometimes you should also put information about the kind of clinical problems that you might be facing. So for example, if the person is hypertensive or if the person has sickle cell disease, it needs to be written, because sometimes members of your family may not be around when that information is required, and you may not be in a position to give that information. So have those type of personal information clearly written down, and it should be in your bag, including your blood group. Other things that need to be in that bag would be your toiletteries, toilet paper, soap for washing, toothpaste and toothbrush, and your things that you need for bathing. You need your change of clothes, 2 or 3 change of clothes, because you don't want it to be bulky. This is a bag that is already packed and kept. So not only also a change of clothes, sleeping, your nightwear, your sleeping wear needs to be there. Comfortable shoes or slippers, a pair of those comfortable shoes. You must make sure you have your medication. Your medication needs to be in that bag. You have to have bottled water, water to drink, maybe a book or two to read to calm you down, water, and also have some first aid and a radio. It's also useful to have a charger, power bank, and extra batteries for your radio, and torch, small torch that should be also in that bag. And you should also have some food items. Those food items need to be dry. So you are talking about things like biscuits, nuts, because you might require that because you are leaving your house in an emergency. So the bag should be packed for every member of your household, and if for any reason people have to leave in a hurry because of an emergency, a bomb blast, you just grab the bag and you are out of the house. So again, always think about what is it that is important for you as an individual. And don't forget, for children, remember to also put their routine medications and also include their toys, 1 or 2 pieces of toy per child in their own bag, because, and writing materials, coloring materials, crayons and all that, to keep them busy while you shelter for a few days after, outside your house, if the need arises. The second part of our discussion today is about the kind of food you need to be prepared, and ensure that you have certain things at home at any point in time, in case there's a curfew, there's an emergency lockdown, and there's no movement in your area, let's say for about 72 hours, 1 week, you don't know how long it lasts. So it's important that you have food items in the house, dry food items, rice, beans, margarine, cooking oil, tomato paste and all that. You need to have this stock up, and also some snacks and nuts, granules, peanut butter. You decide what you can buy, and then when you have these items, you can always rotate them. What I mean by rotating them, think about the expiry dates of this food. So you can always eat the ones that are due to expire, and then recycle. You make sure that you buy, ensure that you have foods that are in date. Okay, so the core point is, make sure you have food that's dry food, and you can buy sardines, corned beef, canned meat. All this can be stored, and you could use them in the event of an emergency. Very important items that you must have is your medication, essential medication. So if somebody is a hypertensive, a diabetic, whatever those illnesses are, make sure you have medicines for at least 2 weeks. Never run out of your medication, just in case you are not able to get to the pharmacy store to go pick them up. So ensure that these should be planned, and in your monthly budget, weekly budget, ensure that these items are always bought, and you have at least a week's stock of these items, your essential medications. And of course, it's important that you have first aid material and medicines for children. Make sure that you have your medicines also for your children. So in a nutshell, today we have just been discussing about the emergency kit, emergency grab bag for every member of your household, and ensuring that also that you have dry food and water, drinking water and water stored for use in the family, during an emergency. So these are some of the tips that you would find useful in the event of an emergency. And if you found these tips useful, please hit the notification button and subscribe to our channel, like and share. Feel free to put your comments also in our comment section. Let us know the topics you would like us to expand on more, or topics that we have not already covered. So continue to get as much wisdom as you can to ensure that you win and that you live a great life. Thank you.